The landscape of Tennessee that's man-made is constantly evolving. And sometimes in the name of progress, pieces of history are sacrificed along the way. Well, artist Raymond Proctor decided to save threatened buildings, at least in his drawings. And as Rob Wiles discovered, he's been on this mission since the 1950s.
People come to Nashville from all over the world just to admire, among other things, the architecture here. And if some of them are like I am, they may ask themselves the question, what did that building look like back when it was new and the city was younger? We might never know the answer to that question for some buildings in town if it weren't for the obsession of Raymond Proctor.
I started drawing in every class I had at school, you know. Got in trouble a couple of times. Enjoyed mechanical drawing because it showed objects, you know, that we could show in various positions. And from that point on, I just you know, felt a need for drawing.
Raymond Proctor worked in retail before becoming a designer and contractor who specialized in remodeling jobs. All the while, that need to draw was always there, and in the late 1950s, he decided to use his talent to help preserve places that seemed doomed to be replaced with whatever the latest architectural style dictated.
Less is more, I guess, is one of the things they're doing today. Throw something up that'll keep the rain off your head and you're all right. But there's no beauty in the building at all. And when Nashville started demolishing all these old buildings like the ones around the public square, I just, you know, I had to keep those in memory, and that's the reason for the drawings. Every building in town that I felt like had an architectural interest for people, if I knew it was going to be demolished, I'd go get a picture of that and make that. And so many of the others are church buildings that friends of ours have attended at one time. Others are just houses of our kinfolks and friends. I don't know, just it goes on and on and on, you know. I think some of the things that were torn down were far superior to the ones that replaced them. I just felt like I had an obligation to do something like that other than just entertain myself by drawing.
Of course, Mr. Proctor couldn't possibly draw every building in Nashville that was being sacrificed to changing needs and styles. He picked the ones he liked and believed were important to remember, and many of his subjects have survived the march of time, for now.
What I was more interested in trying to preserve the images of those buildings, like the public square buildings. There were two different groups of them that were very interesting architecturally. And they were both torn down, one to build a new police station, the other, and I've forgotten what happened on the east side. But, well, the General Hospital nurses' quarters, you know, they had a big dormitory there on that spot of land out on Heritage Avenue, and it piqued my interest, and I did that. So everywhere I felt like there was a threat of something being destroyed, I felt like I had to preserve it as best I could.
If you were an art critic or perhaps a psychologist, you might point out that there are no people in Mr. Proctor's drawings.
I don't do people. I don't do horses real well. Don't do dogs or cats. Used to when I was a kid. I did ducks right often, you know. But no, living things don't seem to impress me.
He's been impressed with more than 100 buildings so far. And even though people don't impress Mr. Proctor, he impresses many of them.
The word got out that I could do a little drawing, and people from all over have asked me to do things. I don't know, it's just a hobby of mine that I can't, well, it's worse than an addiction, I guess. I've got to do it, you know.
He's still got to do it. Time may have slowed him, but has not diminished his talent or desire.
At 86, you ought not to be able to hold a pen anymore. But I find that I can do that, you know. Of course, one of the secrets is that I don't do anything freehand. Everything I draw, I have a straight edge to put the lines beside or that sort of thing, so that there's no deviation and everything stays in perspective.
It isn't only an artistic perspective that guides Raymond Proctor's hand. but a historical one too.
Frankly, I just felt like that was the only way to remember what was there, and I felt like they needed some honor of one sort or another, that people might say, hey, that was in Nashville. Yeah, I remember that.
Memories that help all of us get a glimpse into an earlier time, a younger Nashville, captured by artist Raymond Proctor of Joelton.